Wow. Round 2 review. Carlton, Collingwood, 2021. Up at the crack of dawn to get this out. What do you say? Like, where does one begin? Where does one begin with that? I am in disbelief, if I'm honest. It's like a juxtaposition. I'm in disbelief, but I'm not surprised in the one. This genuinely just is the story of the Carlton Football Club that I have grown to love in my experience. This is just kind of how it's been. Build up, pre-season, marketing, content, going to be different, ready to take the next step, not boys anymore, shit performance, lackluster performance, against a side who scored 53 points last week, didn't look likely in terms of scoring, and in the end, I think the scoreboard just about almost flattered us as well. We lose by 21 points in the end. I think the hardest part about last night was how they start. Was just how they. There's a lot. First of all, there was a lot that was hard about last night. But the way that they started that game last night, the body language of how they started last night was so, I just can't believe it. I don't know how it happened. The fans before the game, all the conversations before the game that I was having, the fans were ready for blood. Like I was sure, I was sure, like this was it. What else do we need? What other pieces in this team do we need to beat Collingwood? And I genuinely in the preview, genuinely believed last night was the one. Like that was the one we were going to do it. They were there for the taking. They've had an interrupted off season with, controversy to the highest extreme. And look, before I go on, I will give them all the credit. They're an unbelievable team. And yeah, I called them a shit club, shit people and whatnot, but they win, they're structured, they're disciplined, and, kudos to them. So well done to Collingwood. But maybe I invested too much into that one game. Maybe. But for me, I just don't think I did because we're like, it's fucking year 6 of the rebuild. It's fucking year 6. Like, it's year 6. It's Collingwood. It's the gettable team. It's the team who most of us were generally thinking if we're going to make the 8, someone like a Collingwood is going to have to drop out and we're going to have to take their spot. And it hurts. Like, I am fucking broken, devastated. I left that ground more broken than what I have been after a game in a very long time, whether I've been at the game or watched a game. Not so different to like Collingwood last year, GWS last year when finals were on the line and we didn't show up. The Adelaide game as well last year. I just felt like an emptiness, like, and I went straight to the high level personally. I went to the high level, like for the first time in a while. I looked at the group on the ground and I'm like, they don't know what they're doing. Collingwood for me looked like a team who played with whatever style they played. It's subconscious. It's they don't even think. They know what they're doing with each possession. They know where the next ball's got to be. Richmond did it well last week. The Saints the week before in the Community Series. Collingwood play a subconscious, proactive brand of footy. And we take it half a second every time we get the ball. We don't really know the game plan yet. That's what it looked like to me anyway. I was sitting on level 1 and there was just a lack of surety with what they were doing. So we put that to one side. Then we have a look at the first quarter. It's fucking Collingwood. The build-up. I wonder if the club gave them a bit of a refresher midweek about what it means to play Collingwood, like the history. Because I don't think many of those players represent the club with that outer body experience type, that intrinsic emotion for the club. I don't see a lot of guys playing, for the pride of the club and the history of the club and like what it means. Like when you speak to Anthony Koutafidis and the guys who have come before them, they talk about the pride of putting on the jumper. I hear about them, our boys, saying about what it means to put on this jumper, but I don't see it in a lot of their actions. And to come out and lay 5 tackles in the first quarter of a normal quarter, not a shortened quarter, I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I really couldn't believe what I was watching. And starts with Levi, first set shot on goal, kicks it out in the full, and that little thought in the back of my mind was saying, it's going to be one of those nights. But you put it to the side, and then the game keeps unfolding. We're reactive. We wait to be punched before we decide to punch back. And then by the time we've punched back, the damage is done. 5-goal swings. Like, how are we talking about this again? How are we talking about this again? Yeah, it's honestly, is it the end of the season? So when I left the ground last night, I'm thinking to myself, fuck, like, how are we going to play finals? Though the 2 teams we've now played, Richmond's the best team in the comp. Collingwood's a finals team from last year as well. We're a while away off that. There is like a saving grace to what I saw last night. And that is that obviously we're going, I'm pretty sure we're going to get better with what we're doing, the game plan. I think the synergy needs some work. We're going to get a bit more game time into Side in that back line, into Williams in that back line. But we just got slaughtered. And what am I going to say here? Like, honestly, what am I going to say? Like, what am I going to say? Like, it's just broken. Like, this genuinely reminds me of the week before Bolton got sacked. We played St Kilda, and it was the first time I was like, oh shit, what are we doing? That's what it looked like last night. Now, quite a few things I didn't like last night. It was mostly body language. Got some terrible reports about Lockie Plowman having a laugh with Jordan De Goey and being told off by some of the members of the cheer squad, and then turning to the cheer squad and laughing at them. And if that's true, it really says it all, doesn't it? It really says it all. And I think for a lot of these players, there needs to be some sort of a reality check for what they're doing, because reality is, all right, you're an AFL player in Australia, but in the context of the world, and you leave Australia, no one knows who you are, no one cares what you do, and unless you're a successful AFL player that's, won a flag and things like that, even then, no one really cares. I mean, if you're going to come play AFL, reach the highest point of this sport, retire, never to be seen again, I don't know. I just wonder who we've brought into the club to play and coach, and whether they care about the legacy of the club. Because I would assume we're bringing in players to be in a premiership team. But the attitude I see from a lot of guys does not resonate with me for guys who want to win at all costs. It doesn't. It resembles an entitlement. It resembles being told all the way through juniors that you're really good and getting that love. And humans at their core all want to be loved. And so a lot of these players have been praised all throughout their juniors, high draft picks, continue to be praised, get the recognition, consolidate all that love with being drafted in the top 10, 20, 30 players, whatever it is. And then you notice as their careers go on, they lose that spark and that hunger because they've already got it. Whereas you look at guys like Fogarty, you look at guys like Gibbons, you look at guys like Jack Noons, who have had to do it a little tougher, especially a guy like Michael Gibbons. I mean, I'm going to do the player ratings and go individually there, but man, if they all played like Michael Gibbons does mentally, and Ed Curnow, would be a much better team. And it's so funny because these like bottom 6 guys last night represented the football club against Collingwood, in my opinion, in the way it should have been done. I mean, what are our leaders doing? Could someone explain to me what's wrong with Patrick Cripps? Could someone explain to me what's wrong with Sam Doherty? I feel like we're going through another cycle of this. I remember the Murphy Gibbs Cruiser rebuild. We got him in, high draft picks, And the idea was we've got to put the games into the kids, flush out these, list cloggers, and let, Murphy, Gibbs, Cruiser, really lead this club forward. They come into a losing culture. They pick up losing habits. Losing habits becomes a losing lifestyle. They move on. Then we get Cripps. Young Cripps comes in, plays the game with the ferocity we hadn't seen a player play with. And then it was like, we've got to make him captain as soon as we possibly can. He's going to lead us forward. Cripps is now 26, going into that part of his career. He looks like he's sapped of energy. It looks like the losing has gotten to him, and now he's a perennial loser. Now we're already starting to look at Walsh and Wiedering and saying, give them the captaincy. Well, hang on. 3 years ago, it was Cripps that was going to lead us forward. Now it's Walsh. And I'm just seeing a cycle of losing happen over and over again. And a generation of player coming and going, having the fight, having the desperation, earning that big first contract, losing that desperation, and so on and so forth. We have no winners at the football club. We have Luke Power. That's a genuine winner. Assistant coaches have to have questions asked about them. I don't see development in our midfielders. I don't see development in our forwards. I don't see a lot of development really across the board, apart from a few key players who are really just super talented. And I see a team that's just existing. I see a group of guys that's just existing. Do they try hard? Of course they do. Do they try hard enough? Probably. But it's a win-loss business. Welcome to the big time. Like, welcome to the real world. And I don't really know what to say. I really don't. So those are some of my thoughts. I'm devastated. Fair play to Swoop Luke. It was a good build-up. I love everything he does. I love the little community we've built. Fair play to the Collingwood fans, giving me the banter after the game that I fucking deserve, because I ran my mouth, and I'll cop that. I'm ready for that. You talk shit, you get hit, as they say in the northern suburbs. So well done to Collingwood. Fair play. And we go again. I don't really know what to do from here. I don't really know what to say from here. One thing I know is I'm just so much more driven to see this team and this club succeed than I've ever been before. I don't really know what I can do, but just, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to give the player of the game to Lockie Fogarty. I thought he was fantastic. Put a link in the description below to PLAYA. PLAYA is our new sponsor, so look out for them, and I'll leave it there. But please share with me what you thought. Share with me how you saw the game. Share with me how you're feeling. I mean, last night on the fan cams was pretty emotional. So those of you who didn't get a chance to come on, please share with me how you're feeling this morning. Even those of you that did come on, really keen to get through this together. We're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We'll fight to live another day. I really do hope that the players understand how much this all means to the fans that pay their wages. I really do. I don't feel like that right now. But I hope that the message gets through. So let me know what you think. We'll have a nice break now until Freo next week. And we'll cross our fingers and see if they can respond. Go the Mighty Blues.